And now time for Christian Car Guy Theater, with today's episode, A Plymouth Progress, episode 16. Now, Jimmy saw in his dream that the three Stainless daughters and Plymouth Valiant sat talking together until supper was ready. So when they had made ready, they sat down to meat. Now the table was furnished with savory foods and with wine that was refined.
May I ask, dears damsels, the Lord of the Hill, do you know why he had built this house at the top of this hill of difficulty?
Oh, yes. He was a great warrior, and fought with and slew him that had the power of death, but not without great danger to himself, which made us love him even more.
Oh, tragically, he did it with the loss of much blood. But what made it most glorious and gracious was that he did it all out of pure love to his country.
Oh, yes, I did speak with him since he did die on the cross. And I attest from his own lips that he is such a lover of poor Plymouth that the like is not to be found, no matter how far one might travel.
We heard the Lord himself say that he stripped himself of his glory, that he might do this for the poor.
Oh, yes, and I heard him say that he would not dwell in the mountain of Zion alone.
Our Lord has made many Plymouths into princes, though by nature they were beggars born, and their original dwelling had been the dunghill.
This was the topic of their fellowship and conversation as they discoursed together till late at night. And after they had committed themselves to their Lord for protection, they all rested. The Plymouth they garaged in a large upper chamber whose window opened toward the sun rising. The name of the chamber was Peace, where he slept till break of day. And then he awoke and sang.
Where am I now? Is this the love and care of Jesus for the sedans that Plymouth saw? Thus he has provided that I should be forgiven and dwell already the next door to heaven.
So that morning they all gathered together.
Oh, dear Valiant, you must not depart till we show you some of the treasures of our place.
So first they took him into the study where they showed him records of the greatest antiquity.
Valiant, for your faith here is the ancestry of the Lord of the Hill, and that he was the son of the Ancient of Days, and became that by eternal generation.
Here also is more fully recorded acts that the Lord has done, and the names of many hundreds that he has taken into his service,
and how he had placed them in such habitations that could neither by length of days nor decays nor nature ever be dissolved.
Let me read here the worthy acts that some of his servants have done. Through faith they conquered kingdoms, enforced justice, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched the violence of fire, escaped the edge of sword, out of weakness were made strong, became mighty in war, and put foreign armies to flight.
Yes, and see here how willing our Lord was to receive anyone into his favor. Anyone, even though they in time past had offered great affronts to his persons and proceedings.
Here also were several other histories of many other famous things of which Valiant had a view, as of things both ancient and modern.
Oh, and there are such prophecies and predictions of things that have already occurred or soon will come to pass. Predictions and prophecies full of dread and amazement to our enemies, and comfort and solace for pilgrim Plymouths.
Oh dear, dears the damsels, what this does for my faith.
The four spent the rest of that day reading. The next day they all drove into the armory, where they showed Valiant all manner of accessories, which their lord had provided for Plymouth, as sword, shield, helmet, breastplate, all prayer, and tires that would not wear out. And there was here enough of this to harness out as many sedans for the service of the Lord as there be stars in the heavens for multitude.
Come and see, Valiant. Here are engines with which some of the Lord's servants have done wonderful things. Look, here is Moses' rod.
Yes, and here is the hammer and nail with which Jael slew Sisera.
Look over here. Pitchers, trumpets, and lamps, too, with which Gideon put to flight the armies of Midian.
Oh my, that mine eyes should see such that my faith has read of and rejoiced.
Oh, these are the ones that always striketh me. The ox's goad, wherewith Shamgar slew 600 men, and also the jawbone, with which Samson did such mighty feats.
My favorite, the sling and stone with which David slew Goliath of Gath.
Here is mine, the very sword with which our Lord would kill the man of sin in the day that he shall rise up to the prey.
Such delights. May I spend some time to take this all in? I'm overwhelmed that such an armory exists.
After a long time and the joy of study, they went to their rest again. Then Jimmy saw in his dream that on the morrow he got up to drive on, but the damsels desired him to stay till the next day also.
Oh, dear Valiant, we will, if the day be clear on the morrow, show you the delectable mountains, which will yet further add to your comfort. For the view, is one you will hold dear.
Yes, I will take your counsel and go see this hallowed site.
When the morning was up, they took him to the top of the garage and bid him look south. So he did, and behold, at a great distance he saw a most pleasant, mountainous country, beautiful with woods, vineyards, fruits, and all sorts of flowers also, with springs and fountains delectable to behold.
Yes, behold. What is the name of that country?
It is Emmanuel's land, and like this hill, it is for all the Plymouths. And when you go there, with the assistance of the shepherds who live there, you will see the gates of the celestial city.
Valiant bethought himself of setting forward, and they were willing he should, but first, said they, let us go again into the armory. So they did, and while they were there, they harnessed him from head to foot with the full armor, to protect him lest, perhaps, he should meet with assaults along the way. Tune in soon for another exciting adventure in the Plymouth's progress. Now, here's Danny Dipstick and Randy Radiator to review today's episode.
Randy, I love the Bible artifacts. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an archaeologist, but Papa Dipstick told me my career would end up in ruins.
Yeah, me too, Daddy. When I was a kid, I told my parents archaeology is a career I could really dig. See what I did there? Archaeology, dig. But seriously, Daddy, this episode that we just heard is a faith builder. The Stainless Daughters, the Sedamsels, are giving Valiant the shield of faith throughout this entire episode. By sharing the larger story, Jesus' story, Valiant is able to change the story he's telling himself. David slew Goliath, Samson killed 1,000 Philistines with the jawbone of a donkey, and Deborah put a tent peg through Sisera's skull. The Lord of the Hill was the one that gave them strength, and that strength came by faith. So Valiant sees for himself not only the Bible come to life, the delectable mountains as one of his destinations. These pieces of armor will be critical to what Valiant is going to face in the next episode, the Valley of Humiliation and Apollyon.
Randy, I remember all that armor when I was a kid. Of course, I was in the infantry.
That's a good one, Daddy. Daddy, I got a funny one for you. Are you ready? What did the medieval blacksmith say to the Knights of the Round Table when he delivered them their new armor? You've got mail. See, Daddy, it's a catchphrase. Okay. But it's also, mail is a type of armor. Oh, boy, Daddy. Say goodbye, Daddy.
See you later, Radiator.